Hello and welcome to No Skips, the show where we grab our headphones, we pop them on, we hit play on whatever album it is, and we don't skip a song. That is what we're talking about today. We are talking about Pillar's album, Fireproof, from the year 2003. This is the remastered version, by the way. There was another version of this album that came out in 2002, but once they picked up steam, they kind of got that big, label release, if you will, and they redid this album for that. Okay, so I am talking about the redone, remastered version that came out a year later in 2003, came out June 10th of 2003. And Pillar is a band, it's one of many bands actually, that I really enjoyed when they first came out. And they were kind of looked after, if you will, by Audio Adrenaline. Now, Audio Adrenaline, they were big in the Christian music scene, especially in the early 2000s and the 90s, where they had their main, if you will, their main cast members all assembled, before they had new lead singers in the, mid 2000s. But when they had the original group together, one of the things they did was they started a record label called Flicker Records. And they were looking for the next big bands that were coming through the scene at the time. And Pillar was one of their first bands that they signed. And Fireproof was the first album put out by Pillar from Flicker Records. And I really, really enjoyed this album as a kid. I actually got this album from my Uncle Frank. He burned the CD for me. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but he burned the CD for me. And it is one that I plan on buying in physical copy again, because I no longer have that burnt CD. I do plan on actually buying the real thing, okay? But again, at the time, he said, hey, you might like this. And turned out I really did. Pillar, if you've never heard them before, they were kind of in that early 2000s rock, where they had a little bit of rap involved, a lot of bit of rock involved. That was kind of their thing. And this album really, really showcased that. It's got 12 songs on it. And I'll tell you what, I don't skip any of the songs, but some of the highlights on here, some of the ones that I would say listen to if you've never heard this band before, I would say listen to the title track, Fireproof, which is the first song on it. I would say listen to the song called A Shame, which is track number 3. That's a really good one. I would also say listen to the song Further From Myself, which is the 11th song on the album. Now, as I have said before, I talk a lot about Christian music because that's what I grew up listening to. But I did not grow up listening to the Christian music that's on the radio today, okay, where it's just straight up worship songs. And I'm not saying that like that's horrible music, but it's not my type of music. I don't enjoy it, okay? I enjoy songs where it's a little less in your face, if you will. And Pillar is just trying to entertain you with this album. And like I said with the 1,000-Foot Crutch album a few episodes ago, if you get a message out of it, great. If you don't, they just hope you have a fun time with the album. It's really that simple. And this is one of those where it's the perfect blend of rock music that you could hear on just a general rock station, and also, some faith-based themes as well. But I love this album. It is 38 minutes long. It is worth the listen. Give it a good listen, once all the way through. And I will say, Further From Myself was also given a music video. It's a live video of the band. And they did it kind of like the MTV Unplugged, where they would have, the band playing acoustically, and they would have all the candles around them. It's a really, really cool video. If you get the chance to watch that on YouTube, I would highly suggest it. It's for the song, again, Further From Myself. Just really, really cool how they shot that. And, I make movies, so music videos were kind of a big thing for me as well growing up as a kid. I've never done a music video, but that is one that I look at and I go, that's really cool how they were able to set that all up with the different camera angles and just make it look like it was an MTV Unplugged episode, even though it wasn't. So check that out. But also, like I said, check out this album, Fireproof, from 2003. It is a no skips album. If you listen to it and you skip some songs, let me know in the comments below. What did I miss on? Okay. Or if you listen to it and you're like, man, I really love this band, make sure you check out their other stuff because it's also pretty good. But again, let me know in the comments below, my friends. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I always got to remember to say that because I forget to. But if you do that, that greatly helps me out, and I appreciate it. With all that being said, my friends, I'll be back with you again next time with another No Skips album. Thank you so much.